Hey everybody, welcome. We're coming in hot here. These guys just jumped right into it. We have St. Clair College versus Northwood University. This is a NACE matchup. This is, of course, best of 5. For St. Clair side, we do have Icy Vivid, Endeavor, as well as Tiberius. Meanwhile, on this side of Northwood, we've got AMP alongside Nino. And lastly, Full Send. So far, St. Clair on the attack, and they do, right as I mentioned it, that's a perfect lift up there. Endeavor finishing off that shot. I think that was Icy who popped it up just in time for Endeavor to come fly in and take care of that shot. Nicely done there. Off we go. Pretty neutral bounce to start that things off, but Icy getting in a pretty decent position. Nino gonna stop that in its tracks though. Although Northwood University struggling to try and get this thing cleared. Tiberius is going to try and hold it, but it is going to go into his defensive zone. I see Vivid trying to challenge high, but that ball is going to get shot by Nino. Going to go wide though. Still in the offensive zone of St. Clair, but St. Clair is finally going to be able to clear that thing. But Nino was in the goalkeeper's area. Going to stop that thing in its tracks. That was AMP. Able to stop the next shot as well, getting it back into the St. Clair zone. I see Vivid trying to get this thing across center, but Tiberius is going to come back him up after a little bit of a cluster in the center. That's a pass right to I see Vivid. The shot's going to go wide though. In fact, it's going to go right to Nino, but it does bounce back into the Northwood University defensive zone. Nino finding his opportunity to bring this into the St. Clair zone. Endeavor there in net to try and slow this thing down. A little bit of a cluster here in the corner. AMP trying to get this thing centered for his teammates, but it's actually going to go to Tiberius and then to Icy Vivid. Passes trying to get it back to Tiberius, but barely short. Icy Vivid brings it into the crease. That thing's just crawling across the crease, but AMP on Northwood University able to keep that thing out of the net to his partner Full Send, who's going to bring it into the St. Clair zone. AMP, nice shot, but a good save for Tiberius, keeping that thing out. Full Send, keeping this thing stuck in the St. Clair zone. I see Vivid there to challenge, but Nino, once again, just firing it back in there. And AMP going up high, but he's going to get stopped by Icy Vivid, who gets the save. But the pressure is still on right now for St. Clair College. AMP with the shot, but it's going to go high. Full Send is in the spot as well, but it's going to go wide. I see Vivid going to try and juke his way out of here. Seen him practicing this a little bit before the game actually started. That's a good pass right to Endeavor. He's going to get his second of the game off of the pass from Icy Vivid. There we go. Nice little play from them and the little pop-off there for Endeavor. Right place, right time, nice passing. 2-0 St. Clair College with 2 minutes left on the clock in game number 1. Okay, I see Vivid going off high, and it's going right into the Northwood zone. But nobody really able to get a good hand on it. It's going to be Endeavor lined up with the shot again off the crossbar. Nino going to try and get this out for Northwood University, but Tiberius is right there, going to get a piece of it, keeping it stuck in that neutral zone. Endeavor going to bring it into the corner. AMP trying to challenge, but wasn't quite there in time. Got 2 members of St. Clair trying to get this thing centered out. It's going to get to Icy Vivid in the midfield. Going to take his time with it, but he's going to find Full Send, who's going to intercept it temporarily. Endeavor flies high into the corner. This thing's going to cross the crease, but it is going to get sent away. And here's a shot from Nino, actually, from the center, and he's going to find the corner of the net. Nice shot for Nino. Just off of a randy bounce, he happened to be right in the exact spot he needed to be and picks that bottom left corner. Keeping this one honest, 2-1. Anybody's game still. With 1 minute left on the clock. It is now or never for Northwood University. And they're going to get this thing actually in the offensive zone. It's going to cross the entire net, but nobody from Northwood was able to capitalize. A bit of a kerfuffle here right in the midsection of that crease, but Endeavor is going to at least bring it to center, but full send, keeping the pressure on, keeping it stuck in St. Clair's zone, even challenging Icy as Icy tries to push it into the Northwood zone. 30 seconds on the clock here. Full send on. Full pursuit of this ball, trying to take care of this thing, but not going to find it. It's kind of just some odd bounces here and there, which is kind of stalling out the clock for St. Clair College. Nino flying high. He does find full sends, but he is going to get challenged. We're down to the last 5 seconds. Can St. Clair get this ball to touch the ground one more time? They're actually going to be in the offensive zone of Northwood, so it looks good. They're going to knock it down, and St. Clair 2-1 in game number 1. Very strong first match from the two. They kept it honest, and I actually... Yeah, very close matchup from those players. Very solid there for Northwood, who did keep it close that entire time. And sure enough, I'm not wasting any time going into game number 2. And it's actually the face-off going towards the St. Clair zone, but St. Clair short to follow, trying to... playing tennis with this thing right now, just bouncing it back and forth. And it's going to go right towards Northwood net, but it is going to be the save there from AMP. Endeavor flying high, trying to finish that thing off, but he himself is going to find himself in the net with no ball. With the ball being in the St. Clair zone. AMP bringing this down, but I see Vivid. Solid save from him. Endeavor just going to try and clear this thing, but that's full send on Northwood University, trying to carry this thing in. Sent to the wall, but Tiberius is going to be able to clear into the Northwood zone, with Endeavor and Icy falling back on defense. Going to actually clear this again. That's right on target. It hits the crossbar, but there was no rebound available for St. Clair. Destructions all over the place, and in fact, it had an opportunity there for St. Clair where the Northwood net was completely empty due to all the demolitions that were happening in that moment. At full send, it's all the way upfield. Nino was trying to get him the ball, but the play got intercepted to the point where they were defensive, or in the defensive zone, man down. That could have been pretty scary for them, but they are able to bring this into the St. Clair offensive zone. St. Clair do find the clear. Nino, actually AMP, just smoking Endeavor, taking out the man. Gonna allow Nino a few extra seconds here in the air with the ball. 0-0, 3 minutes and 15 seconds on the clock. We are getting aggressive here in this second game. Endeavor and both teams actually just getting much more aggressive, much more demolitions this game compared to the first. Endeavor flying high. That thing's on target, and he actually gets the bank shot off of AMP. He got a piece of it, but could not finish it. So St. Clair is going to find themselves on the board, up 1-0, after AMP just barely doesn't get all of it. All right, 3 minutes on the board for game number 2. Still brutally close, and that again, this time it's Icy Vivid, but just catching Northwood off guard right off the face-off. Goes right to Icy Vivid right off the start. That thing flying. AMP must have been caught getting booster coming back from the face-off. And once again, gets a piece of it, but just couldn't quite knock that thing away from the net. St. Clair up 2-0. 2 real quick goals, but actually nice answer for Northwood. They get it right back with Nino getting the goal off of AMP's face-off. I think he actually passes it to him right here, gets a piece of it, and does get it to Nino. Endeavor right there, but could not get the touch to stop that. So we went from basically 2 minutes full of demolitions into 4 goals in like 30 seconds. Northwood tying this up off of the face-off. Tiberius just unfortunately doesn't read touch correctly, it looks like, and full send, able to get this thing right into a tie game. These face-offs are basically just breeding goals at this point. And finally, we have ourselves a bit of a neutral start with full send. Going to get the control for Northwood University. Endeavor, though, finds it all the way up high. Now, stuck in Northwood zone. That's going to get touched off to the left corner. Little bit wide, but Endeavor is there to challenge the clearing attempt. Full send going to try and challenge it right back, though. And the battle, this air game has been pretty insane this last 30 seconds or so. AMP doesn't even worry about the ball, just took out Endeavor from the play. It's knocking him away from the ball. And AMP is going to bring it upfield. Tries to get into the St. Clair zone. But St. Clair kind of leaving this thing hanging right now. This bounce is just avoiding everybody. AMP going to try and take his time with it. And there it is, Tiberius able to get the save, but the pressure is still on right now from Northwood. They got probably 2 or 3 shots in that quick 20-second period. And St. Clair finally able to get this thing into the Northwood zone. But Tiberius up high, going to try and get the centering attempt. Does get cleared out and sent to Nino with Icy Vivid there to intercept the clearing attempt. Shot does go on net. Nino with the save. Easy peasy there. Tiberius going up high, trying to get this thing in the corner. AMP going to stop him. Back and forth this last 30 seconds or so. But now we have this thing just about to cross the crease of St. Clair. But I believe that was Endeavor able to keep it up in the air, keep it out of danger. 1 minute left in this game, completely tied up. Back and forth game, very exciting one here tonight. Nice little backflip save there. That's actually a good shot from full send, but that is Endeavor there to get the save. Nino trying to drop it. AMP's right there. It's going to hit the crossbar and go in. Beautiful play there for Northwood University. Nino just dropping this down, doesn't get a lot of it, just so it falls right on target, and he got the bounce he needed, and actually got the second touch, it looks like, on that ball. So he's able to get the 3-2 lead for Northwood University with 45 seconds left on the clock. And full send is able to get the possession off the face-off, so he's going to send this right into St. Clair's zone. When the ball is up in the air like this, it might as well just be a stall in a sense, and it's working wonders right now for Northwood University. St. Clair not able to get very much ground in this last little bit. Ace shot on the St. Clair net. I believe that was full send, and he's going to get his own rebound. Knocking it up again, just takes so much time off the clock. 10 seconds left here for St. Clair to try and tie this one up. Or we're going to have ourselves a 1-1 game going into game number 3. AMP's going to get this across the crease. It's not going to go in, but it's going to secure them the win. 1-1 going into game number 3. All right, so incredible back and forth game we saw there from Northwood and St. Clair. This time, of course, Northwood taking out with that absolute crazy section around the 2 or 3 minute mark where like 4 goals happened within a few seconds. Like, that was pretty insane. So going into game number 3, what kind of changes can we expect from both squads? Very evenly matched up as of right now, and it looks like we're going to get into it. A pretty neutral start, but it is going to get sent into the St. Clair zone. Tiberius is there to meet it. Gonna send it off to Endeavor, and hopefully they can get this thing cleared, but full send going to do exactly that, get it right back into the St. Clair zone. Okay, a little bit of scuffle into this Northwood zone, but full send. You're defensively trying to get this thing out of here. Tiberius coming in hot, going up high. That's a pretty big bounce, though, to the point where St. Clair could not capitalize on the bounce. Now Nino able to drag this thing into the St. Clair defensive end, and that's going to be full send, who lobs it a little bit to the right-hand side, really high up in the air. AMP, though, going to fire this thing into the center. but it is not going to be taken advantage of. And there's a huge demo there from Amp, taking down Tiberius, and they're going to be able to bring this thing into the St. Clair zone, because of which it's just basically been back and forth once again to start this thing off. Just as I say that, full send, picking the top left corner. The quick reaction off of the bounce, and nobody from St. Clair was able to challenge that one. Tiberius was close, but couldn't quite get all of it. All right, 1-0 towards Northwood University with 3 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock. Started things off in the Northwood end. Two players going up high. Tiberius is going to get the better of it, though, sending it into the corner of Northwood. And Tiberius, once again, just getting another clear after Northwood tries to get a clear for themselves. Now sent into the St. Clair end. Icy Vivid going to come up high to try and challenge us. He's going to drag this thing all the way into the Northwood end. Endeavor going to get the center. Is there anybody to possibly knock that thing down? Nope, it's actually going to be Nino, who's going to just push this thing along the wall, try and keep it out of danger. With it going into the St. Clair end, that's actually a pretty sick demo there for Endeavor, stopping the shot attempt from Nino by just straight up destroying him. Amp trying to get a shot off or get some possession with it, but a little bit of a back and forth banter here. It seems like from St. Clair, just, I want to say that was strategic, but he kind of got in each other's way a little bit. Okay, nice little juke there from Icy. He's going to try and flick this thing into the net, but doesn't quite get it. He's going to get the center, though. Endeavor going up high, finds the shot in the net. Beautifully done. Tied up 1-1 after a nice play. Icy playing it off the wall. Endeavor right there to follow up. Nino and Amp were both there, but they find the hole in the armor, and we're able to take this to a 1-1 game for game number 3. All right, after the face-off, it's so far just been kind of stuck in the Northwood University end until Full Send actually gets just that. From the midsection, finds the clear, finds the shot. After a randy bounce off of Endeavor's car, Tiberius couldn't quite get on the same height, and Icy barely missing his mark. So a nice shot there from Full Send, making it 2-1 Northwood University. 2 minutes, 15 seconds left. Face-off going into the Northwood zone. We've got Endeavor on the chase, and it's actually going to clear itself. Endeavor going to just touch it. He does have Icy Vivid coming in hot, but it does get collided with by one of the defensive members of Northwood University. It's kind of stuck in the corner, though. Icy did try to go for the shot, but there was a defender there to shut that down. And it's going to go into the St. Clair zone, with Icy going to be forced to try and clear that into the corner of Northwood. And a clearing attempt, but Full Send there to stop that in his tracks. That was actually a pretty sick bounce for Northwood University. They're going to finish it off the, not the necessarily the misplay, but off of the interception in the midfield. Nino able to get the pass from Full Send and get that goal. It's going to bring Northwood University up to 3-1. I mean, I've seen crazier things than a 2-goal comeback, but it is, of course, still very difficult, especially now that it looks like Northwood has seemed to have gotten into their groove, so to speak. That being said, that ball's going to cross right in front of their net. Endeavor with the shot attempt, but couldn't quite finish it off there. Good little clear from Amp as St. Clair was ready to pressure. And the shot from Icy going to be stopped by Full Send. Endeavor coming right back. That's actually the touch, and that was going to be Amp again with a huge save. Tiberius getting the shot as well, but it is a little bit wide. Getting stuck in the right side corner. Icy with another shot. He's going to find it in the top left corner. Beautifully done there for Icy Vivid. Getting the bounce off of Endeavor's wall shot, and there it is. All three of them trying to stop that thing, and no dice for them. Icy on the board. 3-2. 50 seconds to go. Now or never, of course, for St. Clair. And they're starting off hot. They do get the cross, but it is going to get sent back into the corner from Northwood University. To try and stop it, but it's actually Tiberius who's going to center it. That was Endeavor looking for the shot, but 3 people up, nobody on defense at the moment. Full Send are going to drag this thing in. Tiberius was pretty close, though, so he was able to get it out. That's Endeavor with a long downtown shot, but Nino getting his nose in there just to knock it above the crossbar. But the pressure's still on. Again, shots just barely above the crossbar. 15 seconds left on the clock. Nino has a chance to break out, but he's going to get distracted by Tiberius. 10 seconds on the clock, and it's getting aggressive. We're getting a little bit of twisted metal here in these last 15 seconds. Can St. Clair keep this ball up in the air? They are not going to be able to do so. Very, very close third game. Once again, these guys giving us a show here tonight. Yeah, so Full Send find himself 2 goals in that game, just finding the opportunities where St. Clair had gotten just ever so slightly overly aggressive and just able to capitalize on the opportunity. A prop to St. Clair, though. He definitely kept that thing close the entire time. Here we are going into game number 4. We have, of course, Northwood University up 2-1, match point for them. But an absolute back and forth match between these two so far. An absolute blast to cast. We've got Full Send looking for that goal. Nice and early. Of course, lead scorer in that last match. Trey wants to get back up on the board once again. Icy Vivid going to get it off the wall, though. We've seen him get a bunch of shots and good saves in today as well. Endeavor flying high. He's going to find the bottom corner. It's off the clear attempt, I believe that was Tiberius. Yeah, bouncing off the wall. Icy gets a piece of it as well. And Endeavor right there to finish it off. Just to the left or above all of the defenders from Northwood University. Nice play from St. Clair. That's actually a pretty rough face-off, though, for St. Clair. Full Send almost had the opportunity to break out right off the bat. It's going to actually be the clear, or center, rather. Amp was flying in, but couldn't quite get all of it. Full Send with the center once again. It's going to get cleared out temporarily, but Nino, once again, going to bring this back in for Northwood. Stuck in the St. Clair zone. Tiberius going up high, using all the boost he can. Try and get this thing crossed past the center line, and it's not going. Oh my God, that was right off the post. Very close for Northwood, but they get the pressure. They keep it up, and Amp is going to get himself on the board. Just shot after shot. St. Clair all over the place, stopping many attempts, but that was one attempt too many. Amp getting himself on the board to tie this up 1-1 in their match point. Ball goes right into the Northwood defensive zone, but it's going to be Nino trying his best to clear it out, but that's Tiberius coming in hot. He's going to get it. A little bit of a pinball goal, it looks like, bouncing off the post, off the defenseman. I think that was Amp who may have gotten a piece of it here. Yeah, he just bounced off of both of them, so St. Clair answering pretty quickly, getting this back to 2-1. Wanting to bring this to a Game 5. Off the face-off, Amp is going to try and send this into the St. Clair College zone, but he's going to be Endeavor high flying, going to try and get the bounce pass right to Icy Vivid, but it's not going to find its spot. It's going to sail away into the center. Northwood temporarily gets the clear, and it actually does pass Nino, but Amp is going to secure the clear. Back and forth as Full Send tries to take it around the left-hand side, bringing it into the St. Clair zone. That's a destruction on the goalie, actually. Endeavor going down because of Full Send's pressure. And just like that, gets his check, and then he goes back into the defensive position, able to get this thing back and cleared. And bringing it into the St. Clair zone, but it's going to get a bad bounce, actually. Go all the way into the Northwood zone. Nino going to have to try and burn some boost to make sure that that one stayed out of the net. And that's a good pass, good shot. Endeavor getting on the board once again, bringing this to 3-1. That'll bounce off the wall. Oh, it actually bounces off a full send. He tried to clear it, but Endeavor just denies the clear, finds a dead center of the net. 3-1. So far, so good right now for St. Clair to try and bring this to Game 5, but we still have 2 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock. Off face-off going heavy into the Northwood zone. Amp going to try and defend, but Icy's right there. That thing's lobbing right towards the net, but Icy's not going to be able to knock it down as full send. Able to bring it to the corner, and there's no defenseman back right now for St. Clair. Icy's going to somehow get ahead. Got at least ahead of Nino. And the demo by Tiberius onto full send is going to relieve at least a little bit of the pressure. Endeavor flying high, but he actually does end up passing it kind of the full send going high. Not afraid to take these really crazy angles and try and get a center out of it. A little bit of teammate collision, but it does manage to center the ball into the Northwood University zone. It's going to go back and forth until it finally finds itself into the St. Clair defensive end. Nino with the juke tries to center it for Amp, and it's going to leave Endeavor all to himself. Got a little bit over-aggressive with that play. I like the attempts, but it left Endeavor all alone. Just tap that thing in. 4-1 with 1:41 left on the clock. Full send getting the demo right away, but that ball is actually in the Northwood zone. A shot off the bar in the net. Solidly done there for Tiberius. They've seemed to have gotten in their groove, unfortunately, for Northwood. A couple whiffed opportunities to clear or to finish off their offensive plays, and it's leading to a bunch of goals for St. Clair College. Again, this face-off just not going in the favor of Northwood University, kind of stuck in their zone. Amp going to try and pass it off. Full send, bounces it off the back, but is there anybody to try and get one more shot on this thing? No dice as Endeavor going to challenge this thing right into the corner, off the wall. No additional offenders there to try and finish off that pass. Okay, Nino passing it over to full send, I believe. But no, he's actually going to get his own pass. Endeavor going to slow him down, though. Amp coming in to try and finish that thing off, but a little bit of a tic-tac-toe. Oh my gosh, that's right on target for Northwood, barely hitting the left post. Pretty scary shot, but granted, still got 4 goals if Northwood wants to try and catch up in this one. Olsen taking his time, going to try and get the goal himself, but Icy Vivid going to shut that down. And again, Icy just getting the clearing attempt, sending it into the right-hand side. And he's just on an absolute defensive destruction spree as Northwood University has not been able to find their mark, get themselves a goal at all in this 4th game. And they got the one off the start, but ever since then, it's been all St. Clair for the most part. I see just dancing away, just killing the time on the clock. Let's try one more, not quite, but still a very solid game here for St. Clair. Of course, take the first one, then going down 2. It looked kind of scary there for a second, but Endeavor showing up big with a lot of the finishing touches that the St. Clair squad needed in that game. But overall, like, everybody did fantastic, though. Lots of solid passing plays, lots of good defensive play as well from the St. Clair squad. Now we're going to the game for all of the marbles. We have Game 5 coming up next here between the 2 squads. Of course, St. Clair has the momentum with that last game just going in their favor, but it's still anybody's game. This is an even, like, clean slate here. Game number 5 just about to begin. Let's happen. All or nothing for these two as we get started. Once again, seems like the face-offs have been going all for St. Clair. And Tiberius going high. It's going to keep it stuck in the Northwood zone with Endeavor hot on the pursuit. I see Vivid with the center attempt, full send. Going to stop that. But Tiberius is going to send it back in. Could he possibly get his own rebound? He looked for it, but unfortunately crashing and burning into the net after the attempt. Endeavor gets a piece of it actually going towards the post, but Amp going to shut that down. And going to try and clear it out, but again, it's Icy Vivid, just constant clearing machine right now for St. Clair College. Endeavor using every little bit of boost he can to just keep this thing stuck in the Northwood zone, and it's looking good because Tiberius just banked that thing off the roof and it almost went in. Endeavor going to try and get a double tap, but not quite. Going to find it, Icy Vivid colliding with a bunch of the defensemen, just playing interference essentially, and that's a solid shot from Icy. He finds himself the corner. That's a sick shot for Icy Vivid. Yeah, Tiberius set it up, but it was all Icy just getting barely enough right in the corner. Beautiful shot. What a way to start off the final game of the set between these two. Actually, a solid little face-off for Amp, and he's going to answer instantly. Just the way that thing bounced just went right into the St. Clair defensive zone. And it just let Amp get his own rebound, jumping at it and coming in clutch to keep that momentum from getting too out of hand for St. Clair College. And another solid face-off win for Northwood, going right into the St. Clair zone, almost towards the net. Amp looking to go high, but he does not quite find his mark, but full send was there to try and stop that in its tracks. Nino going to be forced to go back with it in his own zone a little bit, taking his time, but it actually kind of set it up for Endeavor, who's able to get the center for Icy Vivid, but full send is there to stop it. But what about this one? Amp tries to get a piece of it. Somehow that thing just dropped. I don't know if that hit the crossbar or what. Let's see. Icy gets a piece of it. It goes off the roof. And just it was impossible to save from there. Quite the turn of events here for St. Clair College. That's one of the breaks they could have ever asked for. Icy Vivid getting himself 2 goals on the board already in this final game. That's a solid shot from Tiberius right from the center. Going dead center, bullseye on that net. Just waits for that thing to come down and just crushes it right from midfield. Nino was right there, but barely too late. That thing was moving quick. And that's going to be the 3-1 lead right now for St. Clair College. Neutral bounce off the face-off, but it is going to get knocked back and forth. Nino and Tiberius just battling to try and get this thing cleared from their zone. And Amp back to Endeavor. Nino keeps it away from the net at least, as Endeavor did manage to get that clear onto net. Tiberius double touch, looking for Icy. Icy coming in hot, and that's actually Endeavor going to get the interception and clutches it out, bringing this game to 4-1. I think, yeah, Fulson tried to get the clear. Nino tried to clear it as well, but Endeavor just barely beating him to the ball. And that's going to be exactly what St. Clair needs. Just slowly but surely getting a little extra insurance on this game. Being up 3 goals is definitely sitting pretty, but I mean, you can't sleep on Northwood. They've been keeping you close this entire game. You let up. We've seen 4 goals happen in like 20 seconds. And back and forth until it gets to Endeavor. It's on target, but Amp is going to be there with the save. Northwood trying to clear this out of their zone, but Tiberius is going to bounce it off the corner. Is going to finally get cleared out by Amp. He's going to send it downfield to full send. He's going to get a piece of it. That's going to be centered, but Endeavor, or no, it's actually Tiberius who's going to clear that thing. Nino trying to come in. That thing drops right in front of the net. Full send, looking for the proper touch, but it's going to be Tiberius who's going to get a piece of it. Amp looking for the rebound, but it's going to get cleared eventually until Nino sends this thing right back in, which once again is going to bounce right into the crease of St. Clair. Amp going to bounce this thing just above the crossbar. Icy Vivid trying to get it out of there, but full send is right there to try and contest them. Endeavor trying to at least keep it up high, kill some time, and get this thing out of here, but Nino denying him of that. And then he challenges Tiberius, who's going to have to force Icy Vivid to try and get in on this defensive play. Up high, Nino hits the crossbar. Very, very close attempts from Northwood. St. Clair finally going to be able to temporarily at least get this thing cleared out. Icy Vivid looking for that hat trick, but barely missing it. Nino, of course, with the save. Now it does get over to the St. Clair zone. There's nobody in net, and that's going to be a clutch shot there for full send. Endeavor and Icy tried their best to get this thing cleared, but it did not get the bounce he wanted. So full send in the exact position he needed to be. Finish that off. 1 minute, 10 seconds on the clock. St. Clair up by 2 in the deciding game of this set. That's actually a pretty rough bounce for both squads involved, and it's actually a fluke. It's just bouncing all over the place. But luckily, Tiberius is able to get the hit he needed, and Endeavor's going to carry this thing out. A scary moment there for St. Clair, because bringing this to a 1-goal game just puts on the extra pressure. It didn't help. Nino's right there getting the shot as well, but Tiberius with the save. Amp couldn't keep this in St. Clair's zone. Endeavor going to try and get the shot. Icy going to try and get himself the hat trick. He does. He gets the hat trick in the perfect moment. Just the slightest of touches near that left post. A very odd angle, but Icy's been able to find these angles today for whatever reason, especially in this last game when it truly counted. 30 seconds on the clock. Still could get crazy here with these last couple seconds. Nino does demo Icy actually, but Endeavor's going to stop any sort of pressure temporarily. Tiberius going to take his shot at a save. Olsen getting this to center, looks for Amp, but Amp wasn't able to get there in time. Nino was back. We have 10 seconds left. St. Clair in prime position to take this match. And you can just see like the communication from Northwood University seems to be struggling. And there we go. St. Clair College going to take the final game 5-2.